Key Williams and Donte Criswell star in 7200 Seconds podcast Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo. What is up? And it's me, it's Key, and we're back. We're in the building with another episode of 7200 Seconds podcast. As always, I got my guy, Coach Donte, is always in the building. Coach, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? I'm ready to get into the show.
But y'all, we got a special guest for y'all today. This guy is the man when it comes to basketball, but he knows everything. But basketball is his forte. We got the one and only Con Man in the building tonight, y'all. Con Man, what's up?
Hey, first and foremost,
Yeah.
thank you. Your interview is the bomb. Wow. Congratulations, man.
So we gotta go to the chat. Jury's in here. What's going on? B.I. and Earn. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all for watching. Again, we got a packed good show tonight. Great topics. But let's get on down to it. We got some headlines and some injuries to go over. Mr. Carson Wentz has a job, y'all. Carson Wentz got a job with with the Rams. Looks like Matthew Stafford's injury might be more severe than they think it is. I think he had a UCL tear or something in his thumb. Donte, Carson Wentz getting a second chance? Can McVay change him?
No, not at this point. I don't think nothing can change him at this point. I think he's a backup at this stage of his career. I just think Matthew Stafford, just think he needs to go ahead and retire. He got him a Super Bowl. I think, you can question should he be in the Hall of Fame, but Carson Wentz, I believe he's done. I don't believe McVay can fix him. I'm going to say no.
All right, Kyle, we all know how Carson Wentz was. Got the Eagles to the Super Bowl, couldn't finish it because he was out. And you all know Nick Foles took over. And from there, he hasn't been the same since. Been from Philly to Indy to Washington. Now he's on his fourth team. Is this his last chance?
You know, I think that coaches, my man has played his time. It's time for him to go. He did the damn thing, but I think it's time for him to go. I don't think he can have anything and just don't even get him go. And they unfortunately.
All right. Other news again, we got Jacob Eason signing with the Giants. He was always a backup, but that whole Giant situation. Daniel Jones is out for the year. Tyrod Taylor, he's out. Then they down to the third string quarterback who he don't even trust himself playing quarterback. And Danny DeVito. Not Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito. And then they bring in Matt Barkley, who's been around the block as a backup. And then they just got Eason. We're going to talk about the Giants later on. Kyler Murray, he's getting a start this week. And James Conner will be back as well. Josh Dobbs, he gets to start again for Minnesota. Great story with Joshua Dobbs. He was only there for a couple of days. He gets put in, and he leads his team to victory and didn't know none of his receivers' names. Kevin O'Connell was in his ear telling him the plays and who the players was. Such and such is running the post. This person's running this. Like he was in his ear telling him who it was and who to throw it to because he didn't, he's a smart kid. His degree is in aerotech engineer. He's a rocket scientist. So the kid is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure he can remember stuff, but great story from Josh Dobbs. He's getting a start. Will Levis will be the remaining starter for the Tennessee Titans for the remainder of the season. They are officially benching Tannehill. Coach, your thoughts on Will Levis?
Right now he's earned that spot. I mean, he played very well in this game in his season debut versus the Atlanta Falcons. He's also earned the right to be the starter. He played okay versus Pittsburgh, not great. But you want to see what you got in Will Levis. You want to see, can he continue to improve and continue to not turn the football over? If he can keep his turnovers down, I think Will Levis will be fine. I think it is some upside there. I think it is. And I just think Will Levis will be fine. He'll be fine. I think they made the right decision. At this point of his Ryan Tannehill cannot get the job done. He just cannot get the job done. He's just not that quarterback anymore. Not for Tennessee's sake, but I think you just want to see what Will Levis could do as a Tennessee Titan. They drafted him. They moved up for him for a reason, and you're seeing why his first game. But we'll see what was going to continue on from now. But I think they made the right decision.
Vic, as far as they put extra time in his QB air, I think you only get between 14 and 15 seconds from the coach to relay in the play to the quarterback. So he didn't get any extra time. He had to get that in there as far as he could until it cut off. So I don't think he got any extra time. But that shows, and that 15 seconds that the coach has to get, or the coordinator has to get into the quarterback's ear with the plays and what he can do, that's pretty amazing. The Raiders look good without McDuffie. They did look good, Ern. We gonna talk about that too. Gonna break that down. But before we get down to the nitty-gritty things, Coach, who's number one on your list? But I already know. I think I know who's number one on your list this week. Let's go.
Don't guess, because you may not know. You may not know, so don't guess it. Okay. So we got number 5. College basketball started yesterday. If you guys don't know,
okay.
This guy suffered the loss. The guy suffered the loss yesterday. He had a great game for Michigan State. I got Tyson Walker out of Michigan State against James Madison. The great show by James Madison. They beat number 4 Michigan State. That was a hell of a game, 79-76. But Tyson Walker, who's a senior, veteran at Michigan State, 35 points. He had 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Tyson Walker had a very good game in a loss versus James Madison. Number 4, y'all haven't seen ladies basketball. They also started yesterday, and we got one of the top players in the country, big 6'7", man, Camila Cardoso. Played great yesterday. I mean, I don't know why Notre Dame kept going in the paint. She was blocking everything, but the whole South Carolina team was blocking everything that coming in the paint. Camila Cardoso, 6'7", can't believe how tall she is. 9 for 14, 20 points, 15 rebounds, 4 blocks in the paint. That girl's a load, and South Carolina is a very good defensive team. So if y'all haven't paid attention to South Carolina basketball, with Coach Don Staley is doing, if y'all don't know who Don Staley is, we know Key Conman damn sure know who she is. She's one of the greatest WNBA point guards of all time. If you don't know who Don Staley actually is, did play for my Houston Comets as well. So again, shout out to Don Staley.
Where's she from, Coach?
Where's she from? Philadelphia. She's from Philadelphia, man. So we got number 3, the reigning MVP for the NBA last year, Joel Embiid, 48 points, 6 assists, 11 rebounds, playing really good basketball. Impressed with Joel Embiid's play. Impressed with him in play. Yeah, there's no doubt he can do it in the regular season. That's actually no doubt he can do that. But in the playoffs, that's what you're going to be judged on. You're going to always be great in the regular season. Like, that goes for any great player. Your game gets better. Your game supposed to get better when it matters the most. But I got to give credit with credit due. I always give credit with credit due. He's playing very well, and I'm not going to negate that. His only judgment, playoffs, he got to step it up. He got to step his game up another level. Number 2, college football. You got Oklahoma State, Ollie Gordon, 33 carries, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns to help Oklahoma State beat their rival Oklahoma in a close game. And number one, I lied. It's CJ Stroud, my quarterback. I absolutely lied. It's my quarterback. How can I not put him number one after that performance? Normally, when do you ever see a Texan or a Rocket on my damn list? You never really see it. But CJ Stroud definitely deserved that. Lit him up for 5 touchdowns, 470 yards. That is a rookie record. Damn, they could have threw 500 yards. But other than that, got to give my quarterback some love, man. Got to give my quarterback some love. So that is the coach's 5 list for this weekend. So congratulations for CJ Stroud, his first time being on this list. And this ain't Joel Embiid first time being on the list. He's been on the list more times, but other than Joel Embiid, everybody on this list, this is their first time on there.
And don't forget, he had 3 receivers over 100 yards too.
Yep.
All right, man. So now we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of things here. We got Monday Night Football last night. We had the Jets going up against those Los Angeles Android Chargers. And, of course, as we expected, the Chargers get the job done. They won 27-6. Zach Wilson, 33 of 49, 263. He didn't have any interceptions, no TDs. But damn it, he got sacked 8 times. Breece Hall, 50 yards on 16 carries. He tried to spread the ball around a lot. You know, Garrett Wilson had 7 catches, 80 yards. I mean, he fumbled. Zach Wilson couldn't hold on to the ball. This dumpster fire of a team called the Jets. Well, I can't even say the Jets defense was a dumpster fire, but just the offense as a whole. But Justin Herbert didn't do no better, but his team won. Justin Herbert, 16 for 30, 136. He didn't even crack 200 yards, but he got sacked 5 times. Austin Eckler only rushed for 47 yards. Keenan Allen, shout out to Keenan Allen, his 10,000 catch yesterday, or yards, 10,000 yards yesterday, 877, 8 for 77. He spread the ball around not too much. Donte, what the hell happened in this game? Was it just the Jets bad, or was it just good defense on the Chargers?
I think just offensively, I think they're bad. I think they're offensively bad. They're not good offensively. Now, their defense, it looks to me, they gave up 27 points. But again, if your offense is so bad to where you can't really move the football, how can a defense stop somebody? How can a defense stop eventually a Chargers team that's going to be able to get out? Now, Justin Herbert did not play well at all. He played like absolute garbage yesterday. But Zach Wilson being sacked 8 times tells you a lot about the offensive line. Breece Hall held up under 100 yards. Just tells you how bad that offense is. And Zach Wilson, did not play as well either. But their offense is just really, really bad. I can't excuse nothing about their offense. And the Chargers didn't even play good football at all. They didn't even play well. I think the Jets' offense is just that goddamn bad. And it's just the truth. Their defense doing all they could. That defense is really good. They fly around the football field. That D-line is really good, man. They get after it. But how can you not try to put up any type of points, but only 2 field goals, and your defense is doing all they could to keep you in the game, and you can't score anything. You can't get the ball in the end zone. That is tough for the defense to have to go out there consistently and try to stop somebody. Yes, they gave up 2 third downs, but damn, can the offense at least move the ball past midfield? Can they cannot go to the red zone and not kick a field goal? It's just that offense is really bad for the New York Jets. Alan Lazard has not helped out really. It just the offense is really bad. That's just all it comes down to it. The Jets defense, I think they're legit. But again, when you can't get the run going, and when you can't get the run going and make Zach Wilson have to throw the ball, that's what you want. You want Zach Wilson to have to beat you throwing the ball. And it's proven over and over again that Zach Wilson can't do it. He cannot beat you throwing the ball. So if the Jets can't run the football, then how you going to score? How they going to score points? And I just feel really bad for guys like Quinn Williams and that defensive side of the ball, because they do all it takes. They are really good on the defensive side. Just that offense can't touch the end zone. I think that Jets offense is just really bad.
I mean, now you've seen how the Jets been playing. Is Zach Wilson the guy for them, or was it just the Chargers? Was like who was worse? Was it the Jets or was it the Chargers?
It's definitely a jump. First of all, if you're right now, well, you have to establish your offensive line and the running game. And the Jets have not done that. A lot of people blaming Zach Wilson. He deserves a lot of credit, but no running game, no offensive line. What the hell do you expect? You know what I mean? Is he the man? No, absolutely not. But he's getting a lot of again when you're playing game, wide receivers dropping the ball. I mean, what a but they do have a very good defensive team. And I think it's fair to defense because they're doing their part. The offensive line needs to do their part. And they need to establish a running game. And maybe Zach Wilson can maybe play a little bit better. There's still a chance to make the so he's got to come together. They're going to establish the running game and the offensive line. Wide receivers keep dropping the pan ball.
Con, you might have to come in and come back out because you got like an echo going.
Oh, do I?
Yeah. So just log all the way off, come back in. I'll let you back in.
All right.
All right. Con's gonna come back in a little bit. Need a second here. Go back. Yeah. I don't know what's up with the Jets. Hold on. Yeah, kind of. If you can hear me, go all exit, like close it out and come back in. What's going on, Jeff? The Jets are just bad. They had their opportunity to stay in this game, in the division period. Now, Aaron Rodgers told Darwin James at the end, he was close, give him some time. Should Aaron Rodgers even want to come back to this offense right now, Donte, knowing the offensive line can't protect him, and then there's the same, coming off an Achilles injury. Do he really want to run around? Coach, you muted.
I don't think he should want to come back. I don't think he should want to come back. I just think he should sit out until he's healthy. Don't rush yourself back. I don't think the Jets are making the playoffs. I really don't think they will. That defense is legit. But again, if your offense cannot score and you cannot run the football effectively, which is you want to do with Breece Hall, you want to give him more touches. But if teams are going to stack the box, they'll take him out, and you don't have a quarterback that can get the ball to a Garrett Wilson or Alan Lazard or nothing like that, then hey, that's easy for you to stop. For defenses, the game plan for that is stop. Nobody's scared of that Jets offense, but what people are scared of is that Jets defense. That's what people are scared of, and to play that Jets defense. But you're not scared at all of the New York Jets and playing their offensive side of the ball. You're just not scared of that. I just think even though the Chargers did not play well offensively, when you're stacking the box like they were last night to stop Breece Hall and holding him up under 100 yards and at best 50 yards, and forcing Zach Wilson to beat you, that's what you want right there. And I think the Jets offense is just bad. I just think they're bad all around. I think their defense is legit. They're really good on defense. I just think their offense is just I just think their offense just is an abomination.
You was muted, now I was muted. Zach Wilson just bad. He's not a starter. I don't believe he's a starter in this league. Even if you was to give him a decent line and some weapons, I still don't think maybe he can get it done. Would you say put him somewhere else? I still don't think he will be elite. He'll be at this point. Who would you rather have, Jimmy G or Zach Wilson?
I would say Jimmy G because he's more proven. That's all.
So it's just, I don't know if Zach Wilson has to try to go somewhere else and prove himself, but he's dang gonna for sure improving himself with the Jets. Not like this. So I mean, it just sucks. Zach Wilson stinks. Point blank. Period. I know Mo and Chris were talking about it this morning. I'm not afraid to say it. He sucks. He stinks. He's bad. Awful. There we go, Con. So, yeah, Zach Wilson's just awful. He's just bad.
Yeah.
AFC North. Is that the best division right now? That's the Baltimore Ravens is playing great. The Bengals are starting to look good. Cleveland with that defense, even Pittsburgh is looking clutch. Con, what you think about that division? That's the best division in football right now.
I say yes. Baltimore is playing out their mind. You know what I mean? Lamar is playing out of his mind. I like the fact that they surround him with so much talent. I think Baltimore is by far the best team in the NFL as we speak, and the North as we speak. Got to watch out for Baltimore. I think they're finally coming into their own right now, and they're just going to get better as the year goes on. In my opinion, yes, the North is probably the best division in the NFL.
All right, Coach, what do you think?
As of right now, you got to give them the edge. Cleveland is very good on the defensive side. I believe they all got winning records, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
I believe they all got winning records, but Baltimore is playing a lot great, playing good with Lamar Jackson. But again, I seen that move before. I seen them play well and still didn't win a Super Bowl. I mean, they're gonna, as long as they have Lamar Jackson, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be great. He's gonna put them in opportunities that they're gonna succeed. But when it comes down to that playoffs and you have to beat the Chiefs or the Bengals one game, I would take the Chiefs and the Bengals because I seen them do it. I seen Joe Burrow go in Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes when it mattered the most to get to the Super Bowl. I didn't see Lamar. I did not see Lamar Jackson have to play Joe Burrow when it matters the most and beat him. I did not see Lamar Jackson beat Patrick Mahomes when it mattered most. Now, I've seen him in the regular season do it. You can do that in regular season. But when it gets to the meat and gritty, then the meat and potatoes, that's what it counts the most. Like, I've seen the move forward. They're playing the best football out of anybody in the NFL, like in the AFC. They're playing the best football. But I seen that's a movie I already seen before.
Oh, we got some breaking news, y'all. Breaking news. Dallas Cowboys. We don't hear that in breaking news a lot. Just signed Martavis Bryant. Wide receiver. Let me make sure.
I know he is. I know he used to play for the Steelers.
He played for the Steelers. He played for the Raiders in 2018. 17 touchdowns, 2,183 receiving yards, and 44 career games. Okay, Jerry Jones is giving Martavis Bryant a chance. He was in XFL trying to get himself together. Does this move the needle?
Hey, Coach, let me step in on this one. No. Absolutely not. I mean, it helps, but right now, again, Dallas really doesn't have a running game. They got Pollard. I mean, he ain't really doing a damn thing again. I think it might be, I think maybe Jerry Jones is trying to listen to the public and everything, but I mean, it might help a little bit. But as far as what they really want to do, I don't think it's going to make that much of an impact because they're still going to go with D.D. Lamb. He's the number one guy anyway, so I don't know how much of an impact he's going to make. Plus, coming into a whole new system, it's going to take time. We're going to take about 4 or 5 weeks to get accustomed to the play calling, the vocabulary, and I think it's going to be a little tough for him at first, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to make much of an impact.
But we're going to talk about Dallas later. I told you it's not a show. We're not talking about the Cowboys here on 7,200 seconds. The Dolphins. Seems like the Dolphins just can't get it done when it comes to good teams over 500. So, Con, my question is, how far do you think the Dolphins get in the playoffs? Wild card? Do they go to the semis? Do they get to the AFC Championship game? How far do you think they can go knowing that they can't beat the good teams?
Oh, that's a very good question. In my opinion, I think that, for the most part, they're healthy. So I think they can continue to grow and get better as the year goes on. I mean, they got more Waddle got a little bit hurt, from what I understand, but I think they have a great offense and they're working on the defense. I think perception and I guess the idea is that they can make it to the conference championship. I think if they obtain a better defense, I think they have a good opportunity because that offense, they're about scoring. And with that offense and Tua playing the way he can play, I think they're going to be a problem. And I think Western Conference Finals are bust. That's my opinion.
So you thinking about basketball, Western Conference Finals? You mean AFC Championship? Coach, what do you think?
I think depends on who they play. I think I will take them to get past the divisional round. I will take them to do that, but it depends on who they play in that second round. But if they play the Bengals, I'm taking the Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals. They play the Chiefs, I'm taking the Chiefs again, like when it matters the most. They play the Bills, my opinion will be a little different. I think they can beat the Bills the way the Bills are playing right now. It just depends on who they face. But for right now, I think they second round and out. I think they win a playoff game, and that's it.
I think they can be one and done as well. Still to it, and Tyreek Hill and Waddle was a threat. Mostert, they offense is dynamic, and they score a lot of points. But what did Kansas City do to Tyreek Hill? What did Trent McDuffie do to Tyreek Hill? 66 yards. That's all he had. And you get a good because they jammed him. They was physical with him. He really couldn't get nothing off deep. He fumbled. Tyreek Hill has been, I say fumbling a lot lately, but he has fumbled when it mattered. He had a costly turnover. The Dolphins were starting to come back. They were down 21 to nothing going into halftime, and they end up only losing by 7. And then Tua crunched at the last moment. I think he took that sack. So that was over for them. But I think they can get past the wild card, and then they probably get bounced out from there. Mo said he thinks it's all about matchups. That is true, but we shall see. They did take an L. But they still are leading the division right now because Buffalo lost. So we'll see how far Dolphins can get. CJ Stroud, coach's quarterback.
Here we go.
14 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He has over 2,200 yards passing. He is number 7th. He is a top 10 QB right now. 2,270 yards. Does he deserve to be in MVP talks, Donte?
Hell yeah, he does. What rookie do you know right now that's coming out that throws 14 touchdowns and, 1 interception, including another 2 touchdowns on the ground, which is 16 probably total TDs. So 15 total TDs. So again, yeah, he deserves to be in the consideration. Not saying he's going to win it. Right now, he's playing better. Dak Prescott playing better football than Dak Prescott. Better football than Jalen Hurts. He's not better than Jalen Hurts. Not going to do that. But can I say he's playing better football than him? Yes, I could say that. But that doesn't mean a player is better. I'm not saying that. So don't put the words in my mouth saying, oh, is he better than? Hell no, he's not better than Jalen Hurts. He's not on that level yet. But could he be on there in a couple more years? Yes. Right now, I think he deserves some consideration. I mean, again, what were we missing last year? We lost 8 close games last year. We didn't have a quarterback last year. CJ Stroud, the games that we were losing last year was half of because of Davis Mills. Nico Collins was also hurt. Now you get a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. That's smart. They got very good pocket presence. Now you're seeing us win some of these games that we lost last year. Now we're winning them this year. And my only concern, what could we do outside of the division? We're winning up some of those games outside of the division because of the quarterback play of CJ Stroud is so great. I think he deserves some consideration. He's not going to win it, and I don't expect him to win it. But I do expect him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I expect him to win that, and I think that's a lock as of right now if he continues to play the way he's played. But other than that, I think he should get some consideration, but I don't think he's not going to win it. But just being in consideration on your first year alone, man, that's great, man. I'm happy for that. So, yes, I say he deserves to be in the consideration. I mean, 1 interception as a rookie. Bryce Young already has 10 total turnovers, like 11 total turnovers, including 3 lost fumbles and 7 interceptions. So, other than that, man, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with CJ Stroud's progress.
Con, your thoughts? CJ deserved to be in the MVP talks?
I think the question should be, should he or will he? I think he should. I don't think he will. Being a rookie quarterback, that's hardly ever heard of. The stats he's put up, I think he has 1 interception. I mean, he's playing out of his mind. I think in the real world, he deserves it. But I think in the NFL world, I don't think he'll get too much consideration for MVP. But I do think he'll get Rookie of the Year. I think he'll get more praise and props, exactly what he deserves. But as far as that MVP, that is something that is kind of treasured. And you don't see no rookies coming out getting an MVP in their rookie year. Although his stats prove it and what he's done proves it. But I think at the end of the day, the people who make the votes, the people who determine who makes the MVP of the league, I think he deserves it, but I don't think he's going to get too much consideration. But he will get Rookie of the Year without question.
Definitely, I agree with that. Definitely got to put him in the talks. Will he get MVP? Who knows? If he keeps playing like this, let's say he gets 25, 30 touchdowns, maybe 2 interceptions, you definitely got to put him in that conversation.
And it also depends upon, Key, if you don't mind me interrupting, is how they finish. Because a lot of times that is a predictor of who they vote for. If they're on a winning team, I think that has major input as to far of him getting any kind of consideration. I think it goes by how well the team does as well.
And it's not CJ Stroud first test. No, it's not. Pittsburgh, that was a test for him. They defense. The Saints, their defense was a test for him. The Ravens, this will basically be his 4th test for him. So that's not his first test that you've seen of him this year. No, it's not.
All right. So we all know the Eagles did play the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, nail biter of a game down to the end. Eagles pulled it out. They become 8-1, best record in the NFL. But has the Eagles wrapped up the East already? Donte, your thoughts on that?
The Eagles wrapped up the East. I think they won the East, but like I say, I'm not going to give them the East right now. I think by them being 81, I think they'll win the East. They'll obviously win the East, but I wouldn't say they wrapped it up already. They still got some tough games. They still got to play Dallas again. They got to play Buffalo. They got to play Kansas City again. We shall see. I think they'll win the East. I wouldn't give it to them, crown them right now.
Con, your thoughts? Eagles won the East already?
Absolutely, because you know something, they haven't played their best ball yet. They haven't really played. Oh, I got to watch up because y'all Philly. They haven't played their best ball yet. I think they have a lot to improve, and I think as the season goes on, and we got to remember, Hurts is playing with a bad left knee, if I'm correct. So when he gets healthy, I think that's going to establish the options that he has, which is running as well as passing. I think they get all the pots in place. I think they're going to be very dangerous as the year goes on. Yes, I agree that definitely. Well, a question.
I'm not saying crown the Eagles yet. We still got some games to play.
Yep.
This stretch of games after the bye is not easy. KC, Buffalo, Seattle, 49ers. Then we play the Dallas again. No Dallas Goedert probably until the Dallas game. He's out with a fractured arm. Secondary hasn't been playing like poo for the last, for a minute, but we finding ways to win games. It's going to be a struggle for the secondary playing the way they playing up against a Buffalo, a Kansas City, a 49ers team that gets the Deebo Samuel's back, and he just added Chase. So we'll see how it is.
But no, what happens is they always find a way to win. They're winning ugly, but they always find a way to win. So imagine when they start playing better. That's just food for thought.
All right, the Giants. We all know the dumpster fire that the Giants is right now. I believe they are 2-7. Tyrod Taylor, he's out for a while. Daniel Jones is out with an ACL. Mm-hmm. Will the Giants draft a QB this year? Well, next year. Okay.
They have no choice. They have no choice. They got to do something. Unfortunately, they still owe Jones so much money. And it's unfortunate that he got hurt the way he got hurt, but they have no choice. I mean, they should have did the damn thing prior to that instead of paying this guy $40 million a year, if you ask me. But they put all that money into him, so they got to either suck it up or maybe depending upon how they end up during the season, what kind of draft picks they can get to maybe transfer them over to former or maybe better picks. But absolutely, because Jones is gone. What they're going to do? They have no choice. They need to get a quarterback that they feel is going to be for their future. But Jones, they got him under that contract, man. They got to either suck it up and deal with it. But to answer your question, absolutely. They have to get a top-notch quarterback that can be with them for 10, 15 years.
Donte?
Like Conman said, they have no choice. But can you really go into a season with Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito? Can you really do that?
2-pack of ass.
Can you really go into a season with that? You can't do that. Daniel Jones going to be out for the first 7 weeks because due to the time frame to his ACL, you knew he's going to be out. He's not going to be playing with you start of the season. Not going to be ready for training camp. Not going to be ready for OTAs. He's going to be out for the first 7 weeks. So you really going to overlook the quarterback situation and not bring a quarterback in? Now, if you want to go on a free agent block and get a, Baker Mayfield or something like that, out of all the candidates, the quarterback candidates ain't good. Free agent. Now, I will take a Baker Mayfield. If he doesn't stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that's the best option. But other than that, you really got to drop the quarterback. You really need a quarterback. And it depends on how bad you are. And you get a first-round pick, hell yeah, you're going to need a quarterback. You cannot go into a damn season with Tommy DeVito and goddamn Tyrod Taylor as your two quarterbacks on the damn roster and knowing you're going to have Daniel Jones out for the first 7 weeks and not be ready. No way in hell, Giants, you do that. So you do draft your quarterback. Even if you get one in free agency that may not be a fan of, you just draft one. That's all you got to do. You just draft one. So hell yeah, you do draft one.
Yeah, they're going to be bad next year, too. Definitely got to draft you a QB or free agency, something. Or do you give Tyrod Taylor another chance to be a starter? But you got to do something. Depending on how Daniel Jones bounces back from ACL, I know it does take at least half the year to a year to recover from an ACL injury. Is he going to be the same Daniel Dimes? Is he going to run more? Will he stay in the pocket more? Mo said Taylor. He said Taylor is just Danny Carnes without the money. Same guy. Giants going to tank for Caleb. They need to do something. But if I'm a good quarterback, knowing that you might be going to the Giants, their offensive line stinks. Evan Neal was horrible. Like, I don't understand the Giants. You got 2 top picks back-to-back years, and you get an offensive line, and both the linemen you get is horrible. Evan Neal can't cover us hole.
I got something to say about this. I got something to really say about it. How you draft an offensive line and you still can't get the shit right? How you drafting top-tier offensive line and you can't get it right? Like that, I'm questioning that they scouting department. Who's on the scout team? How you cannot get that right, the offensive line right? That's just unacceptable. I mean, Evan Neal's supposed to be this big-time offensive lineman. He can't block me. He can't even block me out there. He wouldn't even be able to block me and stop him from getting to the quarterback. How are you that bad in scouting on the offensive line? You tried to bring in Nate Solder for the New England Patriots. That blew up in their face. But how you keep doing the same goddamn crap every single time and keep getting the same shit wrong on the offensive line, man? So I'm questioning their scouting department. They scouting department on the damn offensive line. You do need another receiver because you're not going to get it done with Isaiah Hodgins and Wandale Robinson and all that. You don't got no receiving core out. Now, I do like their defense. I think their defense is solid. I think their defense is okay. I like Devontae Banks. I like that guy from LSU. That guy from that corner, Cordell Flock. I do like him. I think he's solid. But other than that, how can you not get that right? Yeah, I got to question scouting department on not being able to get that damn offensive line right. That's too many years. The offensive line has been struggling over and over again. I got to question that scouting department on that.
Well, why haven't they been using Jalen Hyatt? I mean, isn't he supposed to be a good receiver? Why are they using him? And are they not using him right?
Well, who knows? Apparently, they don't feel that way. That's why they're not using him. So obviously, how he's performing during the preseason and how he's doing now, I guess they don't feel he's worthwhile to be on the field. I guess.
This man even got catches. Has he made a catch this year, Donte?
Who?
Hyatt.
No, they don't play him a lot. They don't play him a lot, and I don't know why they don't play him a lot. Why you don't play Jalen Hyatt or not? The guy is an explosive receiver. And you don't play them, and you don't use your players to the best of their ability. They don't play. That's another issue I got. They don't play Jalen Hyatt enough. You can't see what the guy got. He'll make a great play for you, and then you don't want to play him. I mean, something wrong with the scouting department, and something wrong with that's got to be on the coaching. If you don't know the talents of your players and you don't know how to use them, then hey, that's just bad coaching right there. And I know a lot of Giants fans that says, why is Jalen Hyatt not playing football? Why is he not playing all the time? He should be out there playing. At this point, you know your team is bad. Why not just play him and just see what you got, see if he can develop into something? And I believe Evan Neal just a bad offensive lineman. I believe he's just a bad offensive lineman. I just believe he can. I really believe, like last year, he couldn't block. This year, still the same shit. Can't block. So that just tells you how bad the guy is. No matter what position he plays, it just tells you how bad the guy is. The guy can't block a soul. He can't block Conman. He can't even block Conman. This 2 years straight, you getting your quarterback beat up. You getting quarterback beat up around the line of scrimmage. Evan Neal's just a bad. It's just a bad offensive lineman. That just is what it is.
So is that on Brian Daboll for not putting in Hyatt to know what his abilities is?
That's on the coaching staff. If you're not using the players to their ability, and you know this player, how good this player is, you know this guy got speed, that's on the coaching staff. The same thing. Like we said over and over. We said over and over, Key, with the Philadelphia 76ers. We said that over and over. Look at Matisse Thybulle. Look what he did last year with the Blazers. Look what he did last year. How all of a sudden he become a good 3-point shooter because he didn't get he rarely got an opportunity to play. How does Isaiah Joe go from the 76ers and now all of a sudden he's the best 3-point shooter in the league, right? One of the best 3-point. That's on coaching and that's on the development. That's just lack of development. That's a coaching issue with not playing Jalen Hyatt a lot. You got to know you guys' talent.
Facts. Speaking of another running back or another person about using wrong, Arthur Smith, Taylor Heineke's getting the start again. Arthur Smith, we all know Bijuan Robinson got drafted there high. I mean, I didn't think they needed another running back. I think Algier was doing pretty good. And Algier's getting mostly all the carries. So, what's going on with Robinson and his lack of production? Are they using him wrong?
You know something? It's all about, I believe, it's all about schemes and how you can make players play to their best level. So it depends upon the schemes that they're using because obviously, again, you got so many talented running backs, but if you're not using them in the right way, in the right schemes to, whether it be screens or whatever things you want to be able to do to bring out their talent, then you know what's going to happen. If you don't give them the opportunity to be at their best but provide them with the options to become their best, then this is what happens, unfortunately.
So Bijuan Robinson so far has 103 carries, 515 yards, 1 touchdown. He averages 5 yards a carry. What's going on with Robinson?
Well, that tells you if he's averaging 5 yards a carry, that tells you it's not his fault.
Right.
When he's on the field, he's being productive. If you're averaging 5 yards a carry, come on, that's 5 yards a pop. Every time you're touching the ball, so that means you should be playing him a lot. Again, that goes to coaching. This man was their best, one of the top. He was good out of the backfield and the running game. So when he's showing sign, when he's getting the ball, he can be explosive. So that tells you right there. Again, I think Bijan should have never been drafted as a Falcon because I like Tyler Algier. But if he's averaging 5 yards a pop, that should tell you to get the goddamn man the ball because he's getting 5 yards every time he touches it. That just goes, again, coaching staff don't know what the hell they doing out there. And he was right. He should have been benched Desmond Ridder. After the Texans game, and he had that stinker, been having them stinker 2 weeks, he should have been benched. He should have been benched Desmond Ridder. He already showed you he wasn't good. So now all of a sudden you want to go to Taylor Heineke and you still lose a game. That's on Arthur Smith. That's 100% on Arthur Smith. You got a guy averaging 5 yards a carry, and you're not using him. That's on the coaching. That's on the coaching.
So here's Algier's stats right now, and going into this year. So 116 carries, 371 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's 3.2 a carry. Make it make sense, y'all.
So who's the better back? Who's been the better back?
Bijuan.
Okay, he should be getting about. That's what you go with. I don't mind Tyler Algier stepping in. If Tyler Algier is going to be games that Tyler Algier running the ball effectively, then I don't mind that. But Bijuan right now is proven to be the better back, and now all of a sudden that you don't want to give him the ball. And every time he touched the ball, this man averaging down there 6 yards a pop. How can you go away from that? That's just unacceptable as a coaching style. Which is, like I say, I don't think Bijuan should have been drafted in that situation at all.
Ernst and imagine Bijuan, San Fran, Baltimore, Seattle, KC, Dallas, Buffalo, etc.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's crazy. All right, y'all. Keyshawn Johnson. Y'all already know who Keyshawn Johnson is. He's on Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Michael Irvin. And we all know how biased Michael Irvin and Skip Bayless is when it comes down to the Dallas Cowboys, because that's their team, right? Mm-hmm. So Keyshawn Johnson was trying to explain to them, which he was, I believe, in my opinion, I believe he was right. But we're gonna listen to it. We're gonna listen to it.
You lost the game, man. L is an L. Skip, you gave me numbers on the defensive side of the ball, or better yet, offensively, 163 yards in the fourth quarter alone to their 14. But you still lost.
Wait, 14.
You didn't score enough points.
To 0 for Philadelphia.
It doesn't matter. You lost. And guess what they did? They found your weak link at the end of the game twice, not once, but twice at the end of the game. Your right tackle that you just paid money to whiffed. And Hassan Reddick enjoyed him throughout the day, eating his lunch. And then he finally got to the dessert when he sacked Dak Prescott at the end. I don't care about the numbers, man. This is why I get on y'all ass so much, because you're delusional. Rather than saying we played a good game, we are having an opportunity to see them again, you start telling me about numbers and what you did, and it doesn't matter. You lost.
We're not just playing games to play games. We're playing games to gather information for our destination on where we're trying to go.
So you're going to put in the game to gather information?
To try to find what do we need to do to where we need to go. What do we need to fix? What do we got to get better at? That's why we're playing games.
How many games you going to keep playing and losing the top teams to gather information to beat them? You done lost to San Francisco 3 straight times. You have now lost in a pivotal divisional game that puts you 2.5 games back in Philadelphia, whether you play them in a couple weeks or not. You are behind the sticks, Skip. You are behind the sticks.
Keyshawn, which team looked better to you? We need the God's truth from it. Which team looked better in the end yesterday?
Philadelphia.
No, Dallas did. Dallas. The big takeaway, you step back from that game.
The quarterback looked great, phenomenal.
Just better than the Eagles.
How?
I just gave you all.
You lost.
You went up and down the field.
When they needed to hit Devontae Smith for a 6-pack, they cashed in.
We went 71 yards in 13 plays and got 0 points. We
That's
had
your fault.
1st and 10 at the 31 and got 0 points. We had it 1st and 5 at the 6-yard line and got 0 points. If we cash any of those, if we have the foresight to take field goal, we win the game.
Who's to blame for this loss in Dallas, Donte?
Well, like Keyshawn said, you can blame it on the right tackle. Like you can blame it on Shoemaker for falling down on the end zone before catching the ball. You can blame that. You can blame the offensive line for self-destructing against Hassan Reddick. I believe Dak Prescott played a great game. He played again, he stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds. He did step out of bounds, but I believe, to be honest, I think he outplayed Jalen Hurts. I thought he outplayed Jalen Hurts. He had a better game than Jalen Hurts did. But other than that, it doesn't matter. You still lost. You're still behind the sticks. I thought some crucial penalties was in that game on both sides, but no doubt Philadelphia is the better team. And I thought Dak Prescott, played a good game, but again, when Dallas loses, you're gonna look at Dak Prescott saying, he just didn't get the job done because he has not got the job done every time he was in position. But this game, I can't just blame on Dak Prescott, man. I thought he played as good as he could play outside of, stepping out of bounds for the 2-point conversion and, getting sacked and not throwing the ball to the end zone. You can say that's on him, not throwing the ball short of the end zone when you got to go to the end zone. But then I thought Dak Prescott played a good game. I thought he played a good game.
Con?
Well, something. I watch that show every morning, and I laugh my off. But you got to keep it real. The reason why they argue or debate is because it's for TV. It's for TV. That's what they want to do. They want us to be upset and do all that. Keeping it real, Dak played a damn great game. He did damn near every damn thing. But they're always going to come out with something about Dak, unfortunately, because he makes all that money. But he played a great game, and people need to think, if he didn't play that well, they wouldn't be in the position to win. So he played a great game. I think he gets a lot of heat, man, because he doesn't come through in the pressure times. I think he gets way too much heat. I really believe that. But he played a great game. Philadelphia is the better team. We all know that. But he played a great game. And at the end of the day, let's keep it real. It's about winning and losing. People put up great numbers. Don't let me go in the NBA. People put up 100 points and still lose. So it comes down. Numbers are cool. Numbers can benefit or be a detraction, depending how you use it, what narrative you want to come up with. So numbers are good, but they don't tell a true story. What tell the true story is what happens at the end of the game, crunch time. Can you come up? Can you meet the challenge or not? And at the end of the day, that's what's most important. And unfortunately, Dak has not reached that level yet. But time will tell.
We all seen Dak come up short in big moments.
Yes.
49ers, no timeouts, but you run a QB draw. I mean, that's not on him because he didn't call that play. That's Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy and his clock management again. After he got sacked and they rushed, they running up to the ball. I thought, in my opinion, Dallas could have spiked the ball to gather themselves, get themselves together, think what they're gonna do on the next play. Honestly, God forbid, if they would have did that, could they have a punch in the end zone? You never know. But they rushed it, and what happened? Nothing. I think Dak took the sack there again. Or was it delayed game? I forget which one it was, but in that instance, Dak could have spiked the ball, regroup, because you didn't have no timeouts. Do you blame McCarthy for going for it both on fourth down? One, you had Dak, you had the Shoemaker couldn't get in, and then there was another time that he didn't get in. So that's 6 points. Instead of kicking the field goal, that's 6 points. You would have been up. Do you fault Mike McCarthy for going for it both times on fourth down?
I mean, it just depends on what you run. It just really depends on the play you run. I mean, Dallas, they had confidence they can get the first down. I know it's you don't want to take points off the board, but again, I'm looking at the game and Mike McCarthy thinking, I want to beat the Eagles, so I want to be aggressive and be able to get the ball in the end zone to make them go down the field and have to score. So if it's on their own territory, deep in the end zone, I don't mind. Just take a shot at them. It just how the play, it depends on, sometimes it could be how the play is called, but other than that, I don't mind it. Against a team like the Eagles, you kind of want to be aggressive. You want to put up touchdowns. You don't really want to put up field goal. I don't mind that. I really don't mind. And I know the only way everybody gonna say something because, hey, you didn't put no points on the board. That's really the only way. But you look at it, and then the team you go against, and the team you have to go against, do that, the Philadelphia Eagles, you want to be aggressive as much as you possible, especially if it's a 4th and 1. Like if it's a 4th and goal at the 1 yard line, I don't mind him being that aggressive and trying to go for 1 yard. It just didn't work out.
Well, I do know Ferguson and CeeDee Lamb was chopping us up. I do know that much. Ferguson got in. CeeDee Lamb didn't get in, but he almost had 200 yards. Like again, secondary for the Eagles got to play better because when they playing up against these teams next in the stretch, they gonna really kill us. But who's the MVP right now? Okay.
Ooh.
We halfway into this NFL season. We about to be on week 10. We about halfway through. Who you think is MVP right now?
quiet as kept. I gotta go with Lamar Jackson. I believe he has proven beyond everyone's expectations. Again, he's always been a former unanimous MVP. I think he's playing at that level again. I think it's going to come down to either him, of course, it's Mahomes and her. I think that Lamar's going to get the MVP. If they continue on the road they're going now, how can you not? Quiet as kept. What y'all think?
Who do you think's MVP? Is it going to be a non-quarterback this year, or who do you think's MVP right now?
I'm gonna get it as Tyreek Hill.
Ooh, tough. Ooh, that's a good one. That's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Tyreek Hill definitely on pace to crack 2,000 yards. Right now, Tyreek Hill is 1,076 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 receptions, 69 receptions. So he's on pace to get MVP. Right now, I don't know. I can't, Lamar's balling. Hurts is in the talk. I'm not saying he's MVP, but he's in talks. I mean, Mahomes is still, you cannot bet on Patrick Mahomes. But it either has to be between I want to say Tyreek Hill beat a non-quarterback factor, because quarterbacks always getting the nod for MVP. But if I really, really had to, I probably would put Lamar up there. Because he is playing lights out right now. 7-1, 7-2 Baltimore, 7-1, 7-2. So yeah, I mean it could be either way. We'll see later on. Can Lamar keep that up? Can Tyreek Hill keep it up? 2 is another one. Can they keep the game? All right. So right now, the latest draft order, and this goes, the top 10 is right now, the top 10 for draft is, of course, the Chicago. No, it will be Arizona. It'll be Chicago 2 and 3, because they get the Panthers first round pick. You got the Giants at 4, New England's 5, the Rams is top 10, they're 6, Green Bay, Denver, Tampa, Tennessee will be your draft order right now. If let's say that the season ended. Donte, if you're Chicago, what do you do with those 2 picks? Do you go get yourself even though I think Arizona will get Marvin Harrison, but with those 2 picks, do you keep them and draft somebody? Do you keep one and try to give away the other one for a star player? What do you do if you're Chicago?
If I'm Arizona, I'm taking I think Caleb Williams is gonna be the number 1 overall pick. I think he's gonna be the number 1 overall pick. I think they're gonna really try to do something with Kyler Murray. I know the money, they paid him, but I really think they may go in a different direction with Kyler Murray. I think they're gonna find a way to trade, Kyler Murray, and they're gonna draft Caleb Williams. I think that's what's gonna be a scenario. Marvin Harrison Jr. could be a scenario that they go as a wideout, but for Chicago, it all depends on what they want to do with Justin Fields after this year. So what Chicago can do, if they trade away Justin Fields, they're going to go quarterback. But I think Chicago also is going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. So they would get their quarterback and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Or do they get Marvin Harrison and put him with Justin Fields because they had chemistry? Do they go out and get an offensive line? Do they target somebody else in the trade? Do somebody try to move up? Do another team try to move up?
I think another scenario that can happen, you get Drew Alt from Notre Dame, or you get Marvin Harrison Jr. Since they got back-to-back picks, right? They got 2 and 3. You get an offensive lineman and Drew Alt, and you get Marvin Harrison Jr.
What do you think? Do Chicago need to use their draft picks, or do they need to, try to deal one? What do you think?
I think they're in a great situation either way. I think they're going to take the time to find out what's the best route for them to go. But I mean, they get the opportunity to make it right. When's the last time Chicago had a named quarterback? Think about it. So I think that's going to be to their ways that they definitely need a substantial quarterback. So you can look at it from that point of view. They haven't had one. You know, Justin Fields, he has that potential. Now, maybe if you put him with a Harrison Jr., he might be a lot better because you're surrounded with that kind of a talent, and that can make or break a quarterback. So I think they're going to find out and take the time. I mean, there's no rush. I think they're going to find out what their options are, and they're going to hopefully make the best decision because Chicago has been invalid for so many goddamn years. It's time they do the damn right thing. So hopefully they'll take the time and do it the right way. And whether that be giving picks or obtaining, I think they're going to do whatever is necessary to make them relevant because they haven't been relevant so many damn years.
Shout out to my guy, Jake. Jake will be back to doing the street sport, the sneak.
We love you, Jake.
Talk show. Jake just got married a couple weeks ago, and he's in Colorado now.
We love you, Jake.
In Vegas.
Love you, man.
He's in Colorado now, so he's out of Vegas, but he will be back soon. Jake, we miss you. Chicago better get a wide receiver and an O lineman. Ern says Justin Fields to the Raiders. Y'all need a QB. Well, I mean, gotta see what
you got. Ain't no Connell, Ern. You got ain't no Connell, man. You got your boy out of Purdue.
Bears need to build out the roster around Fields. Moving back, maybe Wise from one of those picks. I mean, a team might bite.
Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. We need to get that clip on Mo and save it in this thing. That way I can play it. When he said Jordan Love not very good. When me and him said Jordan Love is not very good, not a good quarterback. I love that, man. Shout out to my boy Mo, man. I love you, Mo. Love you, man.
He said it's hard to root for O'Connell. They gave him 4. Okay, because he got Derek Carr's old number. All right, let's do picks and predictions before we move on to some NBA because the NBA is getting pretty good now. We're gonna run through these real quick. Week 10. We in week 10, y'all. We just was like, oh my gosh, we can't wait for football. Football's halfway over. We got the pair. Oh my God, why they put this on Thursday night? The Bears and the Panthers. We all.
Oh man.
Who you taking, John? You got the Panthers or the Bears?
Damn. Shoot, man. Damn.
He can't even
to me, man.
So bad.
On a Thursday night, shoot. I'm gonna go Panthers.
Coach.
I'm not gonna watch the damn game anyway, so I'm gonna go Panthers.
You know what? When we and I'll pick them. I had a hard time really picking that game, to be honest, man. I'm not gonna watch the game. But like, do I gotta pick this game? Really? Can I pass?
Oh my God.
Really pass on the shit bowl, please. I got the game in the pick. I picked it already in the pick 'em. I just want to pass. I can't do it right here. I really can't. I got the game in the pick.
The 1-7 Panthers versus the 2-7 Bears. You know what? I'm going to go Carolina here. We got the Colts and Patriots is a 9:30 game, so we got to wake up to this game at 9:30. They're in Germany. Who we taking?
I'm taking the Colts.
You got the Colts or who you got?
Hey, I'm 20 minutes away from Foxborough. You know I'm going with the Colts. Absolutely.
Yeah, give me the Colts here.
Hey, is it possible? Can we send NFL a message instead of the Bears and the Panthers being on Thursday night? Can we put my Texans and the Bengals on Thursday night? Can we put Thursday night? Damn, NFL, come on, NFL. Damn.
Like through week 10, like when they schedule the games, they don't know what teams are going to be this bad. But I think the NFL should be able to call an audible or something, knowing they see the lineup.
Yes.
Knowing they see the lineup, and they like, do we really want to watch this? They could have put this game could be on Sunday, and they could pick up. They could pick something like, you know what?
The way CJ Stroud is playing, you mean to tell me the way CJ Stroud playing, you can't go ahead and say, no, we're not gonna. No, many people not gonna watch this game, so we'll just go ahead and put CJ Stroud in Joe Burrow versus Joe Burrow on Thursday night. On a Thursday, I wouldn't mind if they did that, but like I say, man, we gotta watch the shit balls.
Who you taking, Donte? Your Texans or the Bengals?
Ooh,
I'm taking the Bengals. They're a better team. I'm taking the Bengals.
Con, who you got?
I gotta go with my man, the Bengals, man. The way they're playing right now, Joe's healthy too. I gotta go with the Bengals.
I mean, it's possible we might not see Jamar Chase in this game, but they still got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and those guys.
Ooh.
I want to say upset, but I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, and I'm gonna be mad if the Texans win. Jordan Love in the Love boat. Jordan Love just ain't that good against Kenny Pickett and the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers at home. I'm taking the Steelers.
Con?
Steelers all the way.
I don't think Jordan Love can do anything up against TJ Watt and those boys. So I'm gonna take the Steelers here. The Titans in Tampa. This might be an okay game. Both 3-5.
I'm taking Tampa at home.
Okay.
I'm going with the Titans. I think Derrick Henry's finally getting into his own rhythm. I think they're running the ball a little bit better. I'm gonna go with the Titans.
Last two times I picked the Titans, they sold me. So hey.
What can Will Levis do against Tampa Bay's defense? What's the name was getting cooked? Who's number 24 on the Buccaneers? But
that's Carlton Davis who got cooked versus
he was getting cooked. And you know what? The Titans sold me last week too. I'm gonna give them another chance. If D-Hop can torch Carson Davis, it's gonna be a wrap. I'm going with the Titans here. Browns and the Ravens.
Browns and the Ravens. I'm going for the Ravens at home.
Woo.
Hey, but guess what, Jerry? We showed you how to beat the Steelers, though. Y'all didn't beat them, so hey, we showed you how to beat them too.
Who you got, Con?
I think it's going to be a tremendous defensive game. I mean, Myles Garrett's playing out of his goddamn mind. But I got to go with the Ravens. I think Ravens are going to pull it out. But it's going to be a very low offensive game. I think the defense is going to shine, and I'm going to go with the Ravens.
See what Lamar can do. I'm gonna go Ravens too. 49ers and the Jags. Connor, you got?
You know something? 49ers have been losing too damn much. They're starting to get healthy. I think it's their time to come back. I'm going with the 49ers.
Who you got, Coach?
You know what? I was in between on this game, and I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been winning without Trevor Lawrence being even good. Trevor Lawrence have not been good. But Brock Purdy, on the other hand, he has been just as bad.
Yep.
I'd rather go. I'll take the Jaguars at home, but I'm not confident about that pick. But I will stay with my pick just because I love to stay with my pick.
I'll say the Niners bounce back. They're not going to lose 4 in a row. I'm going to take the 49ers. We got the Saints and the Vikings. John, who you got?
Man. Hey, with Kamara doing the damn thing, I'm going with the Saints.
I got the Saints also.
Give me Minnesota.
Ooh.
Give me Minnesota. The Falcons and the Cardinals. Oh, my God.
Come on. I'd rather watch paint dry.
Taylor Heineke going up against Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray going to be rusty. I'm gonna go Atlanta here.
Ooh. Yeah. Kyle Murray, if he's coming back, man, he got to show something, man. He got to do the damn thing. I'm going to go with the Cardinals. Is it at home? They're playing at home?
No, they play. I think they playing at home. All right. I'm gonna say this. And I want y'all to hear me loud and clear and get me on tape and get your clips and have it ready. Have it ready. But just in case if this happens, all right. So put me at the front of that screen right now, Miss Key. Put me at the front. So I want this to be heard loud and clear when I say this. If the Falcons lose to the Cardinals, I don't give a damn where it's at. I don't care where it's at. If they lose to the Cardinals and Jonathan Gannon, Arthur Smith should be fucking fired on that damn sideline in the middle of the field if they lose that game to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm saying it on record. You had your opportunities, Arthur Smith. You played with the quarterback situation for so damn long when you knew Desmond Ridder is not a good quarterback. You waited so long to bench him. You lose, you give up a lead to the damn Vikings and Josh Dobbs, who didn't know what the hell his team, nothing about his goddamn teammates. If you lose to the Arizona Cardinals, which is you on your last leg, you should be fired immediately on the football field as the moment that clock go down to 3 zeros. That's my message to the Falcons. If the Cardinals ends up beating them, he should be fired right there. He shouldn't even be going onto the plane. He should get on the plane. He shouldn't even get on the plane. He should stay his behind right there in Arizona. He should stay his ass right there in Arizona and not get on the plane. And the GM need to get on the phone with him and say, your ass is fired and you're getting a pink slip if that happens this weekend.
Coach then said it there. Clayton Tune is not starting. It's going to be Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is back. He is starting this week because Clayton Tune couldn't get the job done last week. Murray's back. Leave him right in Arizona. Don't even let him get on the plane. Don't let him go back into the locker room. He can go on a plane, just not with the team. He can go on a plane home. Arthur Smith, I think this might be your last leg. You don't know what you're doing with the running back situation. You got Kyle Pitts and Drake London there who, are good pieces for y'all. Taylor Heineke spread the ball around last week to Jonnu Smith, who was irrelevant. So he can get the ball around to people and Desmond Ridder can't. But anyway, moving on. I got the Falcons here. The Chargers and the Lions.
Well, Chargers coming off a big win, but I think the Lions, you know what I mean? They kind of outlived expectations at the beginning of the year. I think the Lions are playing at a rate. Sometimes you got to get smacked in the face. I think they did. I think they're going to bounce back. I think they're going to play real well against the Chargers. I got the Lions.
Coach?
I got the Chargers. I got the Chargers winning this game. I'll be the lone wolf. I'll take the Chargers.
I'm gonna go Lions to see what they can do against this Charger team. Again, if they can get to Justin Herbert, how the Jets got to Justin Herbert, then I can see the Lions winning. Next game, Cowboys are winning this game. I'm not even gonna ask y'all who winning this game, Cowboys or the Giants. Cowboys are winning this game. Seahawks and the Commanders.
Washington. Even though they got one of the new owners, Magic Johnson, he wants. Are they the Commanders or the Commodores? I'm trying to figure out, are they the Commanders or the Commodores? I'm not sure which one.
Lionel Richie and the Commodores.
Which one they are. Maybe the Commanders could probably play better than the Commanders. But anyway, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I think they're gonna definitely win that one.
Coach,
I got the Seahawks.
Now this Sunday night game should be interesting. Knowing the Raiders did play well for Antonio Pierce, who I think they should keep as coach because Antonio Pierce let the practice squad on the team. He let them on the sideline. He said, They play hard, try to fight for their spot. They deserve to be on the sideline. I like what he's doing right now with the Raiders. And everybody's celebrating. Everybody's getting on the Raiders for them celebrating beating the Giants. They're not celebrating because they beat the Giants. They celebrate because Josh McDaniels is gone. Come on now, media. They are celebrating because Josh McDaniels is gone. The reason why Josh McDaniels got fired is because the players are all talking about him in that players only meeting. And another thing that happened was because they was talking about the Patriots, and McDaniels was like, oh, don't be talking about my Patriots. Your Patriots, you don't even work for them no more. You don't work for them no more. And Robert Kraft, if you are serious about firing Belichick, if the Colts lose, you better not hire Josh McDaniels again. He better not have another coaching job in the NFL. But I'm taking the Raiders here. The Raiders can beat the Jets. Who you got, Donte?
The Raiders. Zach Wilson fucking sucks. He's an ass. Zach Wilson is garbage.
Who you got, Con?
Hey, coach just kept it real. I got his back on that one. That's easy. Yeah.
Do you know what Zach Wilson is?
That's terrible.
and then we got the Monday night game. We got Denver and the Bills. Who you got?
Hey, Christ kept Denver. They come back a little bit, but the Bills have to come back. The Bills, they have so much potential. I mean, they got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I think it's a home game as well. So I definitely think the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills. I'm taking the Bills to win. But the way they play, man, they make a game look harder than what it be. Some of those games that they lost don't even really be hard. They made the Jets game look hard. Zach, tried to throw that game away. They made the Giants game look hard to win. They almost lost that game at the goal line. I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills, but they play down to competition level. And they got 4 losses already. Like Conman said, that's too many damn losses for a team that's trying to be in playoff contention or in championship contention. And on top of that, you got Stephon Diggs already pissed off. So other than that, you think you can tell if you want to, but Stephon Diggs, his ass gonna be up out of there next year. Guarantee that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. All right, y'all. So that is your NBA. That was the NFL portion of the show there. Let's switch over to some basketball. Some great games has been played so far. The Sixers. Harden is gone. They bring Nick Nurse in. Didn't know what the Sixers can be until the new coach comes around to what they can do. They get asset pieces. Robert Covington, Nick Batum. They get Kelly Oubre. Sixers won 5 in a row. They're 5-1 right now. Are the Sixers the hottest team in the NBA right now? Comment. You got the floor.
I got the floor. All right. Well, I was going to say that, but I got to go with the Boston Celtics. I mean, they won 5 in a row. They had a close game last night, which another game that they could have won. And best believe, I don't like the Celtics, but I like the team that has been formed. I think they're playing very well together. Porzingis was playing out of his goddamn mind. I like the way Brown and Tatum play. Tatum has not scored less than 30 points. Now you got Brown in the mix. They got a great bench as well. The coach seems to be doing, making them play a little bit harder as well. I think the Boston Celtics are the hardest team, right? Even though they lost. I think that the Boston Celtics probably end up with the best record in the East. We already know about Milwaukee that the little duo has not come to fruition as of yet. But I like Philly. I like the fact that I think they're playing without the stress of having Harden on that team. I think Maxi's coming into his own. I think Philadelphia is going to be a team to be reckoned with. And B's playing out of his mind. And then you got Oubre. What a great pickup he was. What an outstanding pickup he was. So I'm going to go with the Celtics, but Philadelphia's right behind them.
Coach.
I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry. They're 6-1 right now. They playing some good basketball. And for the Sixers, I've seen that movie too many times. Even when they had the best record in the National Basketball League, they were swept up out of the first round. I've seen that movie too many times. It ain't that surprising that they started out 5-1 or 5-1 or had the best record. What matters to me for the Sixers is the playoffs. That what matters to me more than anything. You can beat anybody in the regular season. Yes, you can beat Boston in the regular season. You may beat them tomorrow in the regular season. That's all fine. But when you get in the 7-game series, that's what I'm going to judge the Sixers on. They're playing some very good basketball right now. Tyrese Maxey is on another level, and I love Kelly Oubre, man. Like I say, man, I didn't watch they got play so many times down here. I'm a big fan of Kelly Oubre. I was a big fan of the signing, but what the Sixers is going to be judged on is how they play in the playoffs. Regular season, it matters too. I'm not going to sit up here and say like regular season don't matter, because that what people try to make it seem like it don't matter. Because if it don't matter, how you make the damn playoffs if it don't matter? So other than that, it matters, but they're going to be judged on how they do against Boston, Milwaukee in the playoffs, Miami in the playoffs. That's what it's gonna be judged on. But I'm gonna take the Warriors. They're hot, man. They're 6-1, and Stephen Curry is on another goddamn level. My goodness, this guy's on a rampage.
I got something that's going up both of y'all. Denver is 7-1 right now. Jokic is balling. Got Michael Porter Jr. Again, they know Bruce Brown because he went to the Pacers, but they're gonna be without Jamal Murray for a while.
Yes,
he hurt his knee. But we've seen Jokic take the team over before without a Jamal Murray. So I'm gonna say Denver. But all these teams right now, they're hot, they're good. We all know what they can do in the regular season. The playoffs, we know what Steph, we know what Denver can do. Again, Philly is still a mystery. Once they pass the first round, we don't know what they can do. Second round is an issue for the Sixers. But everybody's playing great basketball right now. So I'm happy basketball's back.
Can I ask you all a question? Right now, who do you think is your surprise NBA team, even though it's so early? What team do you think has surprised you, give you some unbelievable expectations, and they're playing out of their mind?
I know I'm going to say Donte's Rockets.
Okay.
Fred VanVleet's playing well.
Okay.
Dylan Brooks is surprising people. Dylan Brooks can play ball when he puts his mind to it, if he shut up. But every team needs a villain. Every team needs a villain. Dylan Brooks is good offensively. If Dylan Brooks can shoot the way he was shooting the other night,
he can play.
I'm gonna say Houston.
Okay. I'm
gonna go with the Pacers. I'm gonna go with the Indiana Pacers.
There you go. That's another good one. I like that one. I like their team, man. They some games they get 150 points. I think they got over 150 points twice this season.
Yep, they got over 150 versus the Spurs last night. They had 140 versus the Wizards. Yep.
Yeah, I like them. I like their team. They're young. I like they're very good. Absolutely. I go with that. But my pick is the Dallas Mavericks. They're 6-1. Kyrie and Luka still really haven't played well together yet because they hardly played last year. I think they're coming into their own as of right now. I'm only talking about right now. They have to be one of the top surprising teams. I mean, when Kyrie first went to the Mavs, they expected so much, but now I think it's going to come to fruition. I never expected them to come out 6-1 at the beginning of the year. I figured they'd get better as the year goes on, but right now, to me, that's my surprise team. That's all.
Okay, Con. All right, so James Harden's debut was yesterday. They lost in James Harden's debut. They lost to the Knicks. Hold on, I'll tell you what the score was. They lost. Where is it? They lost 111-97. Starting lineup, of course. Harden's in your. This is the starting lineup for the Clippers. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac, Westbrook, and James Harden. That's your starting five. And PJ Tucker comes off the bench. Paul George had 10. Kawhi Leonard had 18 from 8 of 16 shooting. Zubac gave you 8. Westbrook gave you 17. Harden gave you 17. And a loss. How is this lineup going to be moving forward? Will they win some games, they lose some games, or will this lineup work? Or somebody has to go to the bench? Con?
To me, it's kind of very easy. I think it all depends, first of all, health. Because we know George and Kawhi, they had that rest management and all that. Depending upon how healthy they can be, like during the end of the season and during playoffs. But you got 4 Hall of Famers. I think one thing that Harden does give them, he gives them a true point guard. Even though he led the league in assists last year. I think he can provide them. When stuff doesn't go well, he can always break down and get you 35, 40 points a game. Of course, he has not been trusted in the playoffs, but maybe this year things can change. But as far as talent-wise, I like their outlook. I like the way the team is built. I think as the year goes on, they're going to be a very tough team to deal with all that talent. I think they're going to be a very tough out. And I'm impressed with them. I've been watching their games. I'm very impressed with them. I think they got so much offensive power. The defense is terrible. They don't play no damn. They can't spell defense. But, they figure they can outscore the opposing team. So in my ultimate decision, I think they're going to be fine. They're going to be – watch out. That's all I'm saying. If they're healthy, watch out.
The Sixers ain't fleeced the Clippers. This is what the Clippers offered. Of course I'm going to take it because that's the only team that bid for James Harden. That's the only team that wanted James Harden. So you doggone right, we're going to take what we can get. Coach, what about the starting lineup? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Who's going to the bench?
If it's on the floor, it can work. It's a very good chance it can work. If it's on the floor, but the problem is I ain't trusting it to be on the floor. That's the real problem with it. If they can be able to make it to the Western Conference Finals with Paul George along while Kawhi Leonard was down, then it can work. It can definitely work. I mean, it's just all about communication and everything about that. I think Tyronn Lue is a great coach, so he's going to definitely figure it out. He does very well in making adjustments. So it can work if they're healthy. If they are healthy and they can click on all of a sudden, that team can be a Western Conference Finals team. They can put up a scare in people's teams. And again, the Sixers won the deal in the long run, but this is the problem that I have. Sixers don't draft well. They don't draft well, but they can use those assets to get another player. That's what they really could do. But if they don't draft well. They don't draft well. And that's the problem. You got Robert Covington, who wasn't even a rotational piece with the Clippers. Nick Batum was the only rotational piece going over there for the 76ers. So a fleece, that's a little bit of a reach. But other than that, if the Sixers can package in another player, I think that's the only way those first-round picks will work. Because the first-round pick, the only reason I'm not mad at the Clippers giving it up, because it's 2028. You're in playoff contention. So why not give up the 28 first-round pick? It ain't the 2028. It ain't 2028. So what you're gonna need it for, and you in playoff contention. You trying to win a championship. Other than that, then you got to pay Tyrese Maxey, which is I would think they will pay Tyrese Maxey. They're gonna pay him the way he's playing. Other than that, the Sixers don't draft well. They don't draft well. The only way the Sixers can package those picks to get another player if needed. But other than that, I do not trust the Sixers to draft. Pretty much, their drafting process is not good at all. But other than that, I would say the Sixers won the deal in the long run. They won it definitely in the long run. But please, hell no.
Can I say one thing? Y'all, check this out. Embiid credited Harden for him obtaining the MVP last year. Now, if you look this year, you talk about Steph. You see the impact that Chris Paul has made. So what I'm saying is the point guard is so important to the rest of the team. That's why I think Harden, by going to the Clippers, you're going to see the other players get a lot more easier shots because he's going to spread the floor. You got to still watch out for him. He's going to spread the floor, and all the other players are going to get easy shots. I'm telling you, point guard is – I was a point guard. Point guard is one of the very most important parts to they make the team runs. And watch out. If James Harden can still lead the league in assists, watch how Kawhi and George play. Watch how much their numbers go up.
If there's anything, Harden should be thanked by the Sixers because, again, he could have left if he wanted it to. He could have left, and the Sixers would have got anything from him. So that's good that he started acting a fool and down and stayed down. Because if I didn't want to be in the environment in Philadelphia, I would have been cold-blooded and just left in free agency. Even though I probably wouldn't have got the money from other teams, I would have just left them. So that's good that Harden stayed there for allowing them to get those pieces and those first-round picks. So the Sixers should be thanking Harden for staying there and acting a fool because if he would have left, Sixers will be in hell right now. Because of that at that point. But gotta give the Sixers credit. They playing well. They playing good basketball. So hey, other than that, but Harden deserves some credit for how he acted because he allowed the Sixers to get something for him, and they got something for him.
All right, and then Daryl Morey did say that he is going to do something at the trading block with those assets. Could it be Zach LaVine? Been hearing Donovan Mitchell's names floating around. Any one of those two, we are still able to get a max player still, and pay Maxey if need be. So Daryl Morey cleared up the space. So we're gonna have some money to do either one. Either if we get a player at the deadline and we want to re-sign that player, and we're still able to pay Tyrese Maxey. So we'll see about that. Last two topics before we move on to some college basketball and wrap up everything. OKC. Been saying OKC's been an up-and-coming team for a while. How long will it take them to be an actual threat to the NBA? Knowing they got all these first-round picks, all these draft picks, thinking maybe they can move one of those pieces, those draft picks, maybe get, not say a veteran or maybe another superstar for OKC to really be like, we're NBA, we coming for y'all, watch out. How long do you think it's going to take, Donte?
I think it's going to take another couple years, probably a couple of years or two for them to get to where they want. Depends on what they do with the picks, how soon what they do with the picks. Package into another player. Giannis not available no more due to his signing, but I think it's still going to take a couple more years. I still think teams like Dallas, Sacramento, I still think Phoenix is going to still be put together for another couple more years as well. I still think some teams in the West, like Golden State, will still be good for a couple more years. I still think they would keep the same team for a couple more years, so it's going to be hard for OKC, but I would say still a couple years or two, I think that should be the point that OKC have. Because you ain't got a lot of time. They're not going to have a lot of time. You got to figure out what you're going to do with those assets. You got to figure out what you want to do with them. And that's only if you're close to a championship contender as well. That's only if you're close. You got to know when to decide to put the assets together and spend them to get another player. So it just depends on what direction they're in. But I still think it will take a couple more years for that.
I agree with Coach for the most part, but here's my take. If you look at the history, I'm not going to go into that, but the history of the NBA, most teams that have succeeded, they succeed through the draft. And sometimes, teams get all discombobulated that they want to make trades and do this deadline. Sometimes you just got to nurture the players that you have. You look at Golden State. Well, how do they build? Through the draft. And then they did get Durant, but most teams build through the draft. And I think OKC, not this year, maybe not next year, but I get the next year after that, I think they're going to be in their prime. They're getting a little older, more experience. But I think they got to keep that nucleus together. You keep getting all these new players, that always don't work. You name how many teams that it does work. Very few and very rare. When you draft someone through the draft, you take more initiative. You take more responsibility. You want them to succeed because you drafted them. So you want to give them that opportunity to succeed instead of getting rid of these players off a whim. So my thing is give them about a year or two, let them develop, let them get that nurture together. I'm going to tell you, they're going to be something to deal with. But by getting picks, that don't always work, man. It don't work in the NBA. For real. It don't work.
I mean, they definitely get, got Josh Giddey, got Chet Holmgren, SGA. We all know how those can ball. Both the Williams players, Arkansas, Jay Williams, and from Santa Clara, the guard, both can play. Just saying, I just don't think they're ready yet. They're not there yet. But both talented. I don't think they're just going to make the threat. Just not right now. So LeBron James, he said that he would still be the player he is now if he didn't go to Miami. Coach, do you agree or disagree with his comment?
What?
LeBron James, he said that he would still be the same player if he didn't go to Miami. Do you agree or disagree with his comment?
I would say he would still perform at that high rate for his championships. I'm not gonna say championships, but perform at yes, I will say he will perform. Yes, he will definitely perform for his numbers and scoring wise, playmaking wise, rebounding wise. Yes, he will do that. But for his championships, I don't think so. Because remember, he played with a top tier shooting guard in Dwayne Wade. He went there with a top tier shooting guard in Dwayne Wade. He went there when Chris Bosh was a really good power forward, was considered at least a top 10 power forward. So again, championship wise, don't know. Player wise, yes, I believe he'd still be a great player. He'd still be a great player. But championship wise, now. Then you go back to Cleveland. Look who he brought in. Kevin Love. They traded the number 1 pick, which was Andrew Wiggins. They get Kevin Love back, who was Kevin Love in Minnesota, a 2020 guy. You already had a young emerging Kyrie Irving. You grabbed J.R. Smith. So the team was already processing and built outside of Kyrie Irving. Then you go to LA, you push for Anthony Davis, you got a championship. So I believe, to my opinion, the only realistic championship that the only championship is LA. He didn't win it in Cleveland. He didn't win it in Cleveland when he left. He got there, but he got swept out by San Antonio. You don't blame that on LeBron because that's a younger LeBron who couldn't shoot at that time. Greg Popovich knew that and played him well. But you go to Miami. He teams up with Dwayne Wade. And Chris Bosh. He teams up with those guys. And they win 2 straight championships. He goes back to Cleveland. He's playing with Kyrie Irving and a top-tier power forward in Kevin Love. He goes to LA. He gets up all the young kids up out of there, all the young guys up out of there. I didn't want to play with him. He brings in AD and veterans, and he wins it in the COVID year. So, again, you question him about the championships, but I still would think he will be a great player. He will put up the same numbers, gaudy numbers, but championships, I can't say he wins championships.
Con, you agree with LeBron?
Absolutely. Now, the question was, he said he would. He didn't talk about championships. He didn't talk. Always said that he would still be able to do what he did without playing with Miami. So that leads me to believe that he's not talking about championships or, he's talking about himself individually. Would he still be able to do what he does, what he's doing, or what he did recently or whatever? And the answer is yes, without doubt. If he could maintain his always that injury pattern, he would be the same, maybe even better. But again, that's individual. We're not talking championships. If I heard the question correctly, he mentioned himself. He didn't mention all the championship teams because we know him going to Miami set the standard, and then coming back to Cleveland, getting the championships, and then going to the Lakers. But I think the question was, would he still be the player that if he didn't go to Miami? And my answer is 1,000%.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. Talented. We all know he can ball. Well, I don't think he would have those two. He wouldn't have those 2 championships in Miami. He still would be leading scorer of all time. He wouldn't have the championships as he will, but he still would be playing. I think he still would be playing the caliber basketball that he is now if he didn't go to Miami. So I definitely agree with that there. Moving on to some college basketball, the women's and the men's played last night. We did have upset last night. LSU, number 1 seed, reigning defending champions, get knocked down by the Lady Buffaloes of Colorado. Donte, did you expect the Buffs to beat the Lady Tigers?
I'd say anything can happen in college. Anything can happen. We've seen it happen with James Madison this weekend. Not moved by it. I still think LSU going to be competing for a national championship. I just got to give credit to Colorado. They played great, man. They played lights out. Just got to give them credit. I still think Angel Reese is going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They're going to find a way. They're going to bounce back.
Coach Kim said that they didn't play with no toughness last night. The LSU Tigers. Do you think they was gonna get upset yesterday?
Absolutely not. I didn't expect that. You know, what I mean, coming fresh off last year's performance. But you know, just like if we do discuss the NC men's pot, Michigan State, another one. So I mean, you never know. I mean, you know, it's always a possibility. Sometimes you put, you know, they probably didn't expect the Colorado to be so good as they were. You never know. You know what I mean? So it's very surprising to me. It is an upset, but like Coach said, you already know they're going to bounce back, and they're going to look at this as a way to not let that happen again during the remainder of the season.
So South Carolina did play Notre Dame yesterday, and it was in France.
Yes.
South Carolina last year lost 5 starters, 5 players, all went to the WNBA. How would South Carolina bounce back? What they did was they went to transfer portal. They got Popo, and then they got a guard, Malaysia Fawali.
Yes. She put on the show last night.
Carmilla Cordurso, 6'7". Who is stopping Carmilla Cordurso? And then you have the freshman coming off the bench. And you still got Raven Johnson. Dawn Staley still put up a team. How far can South Carolina go this year? I know we offer one game, but just with the players we saw and how dominant they could be against the Notre Dame, who's not a bad team. That girl on the other side, what's her name, Donte?
Her name was Hannah Hidalgo.
Yeah, she was killing it too. 34 points, I think she had. How far can this South Carolina team go?
They can get to the Final Four. I think they will have to run into UConn, which is, I think UConn will have a better chance of beating them this year with Paige Beckers back. But they one thing South Carolina do well. They physical. They play very good defense, and they're coached the right way, man. And if you can't, like, the way you beat South Carolina, you gotta be able to make shots. If you can't make shots versus South Carolina, you ain't gonna win. If you turn the ball over versus South Carolina, you're not gonna win. That's just how it is. If you can make shots, you can win the game, because again, that if they gotta keep taking the ball out the net every single time, then you have a good chance of slowing Camila Cordoso down. You're going to give up some offensive rebounds. Now, the only way they kick your ass, just like they did Notre Dame, turn the ball over. And when you're missing shots and you giving up when those offensive rebounds will come in play. And that's what happened. You can't go to the paint because you know they're going to block shots. They're going to block your shots, especially Cordoso, which is they tried repeatedly and it didn't work. But also you got Watkins in the game, who's got a lot of size on her as well, who also can block shots. You got what's that? I said another. You have what's this woman? Her name Ja. Her last name is Ja. She played good yesterday as well. And you have Fagan. Fagan played good earlier on in the game. So they got some height. They got some size. The guard play can shoot now with Pow. And the only question I got about for Wiley is her shooting ability. When she shot an open jump shot, it did not look good at all. She airballed and she was out by a mile. But what she can do, play defense. She's very explosive in the fast break. She can break the defense down. She can be a playmaker. That's what she can do. So they can play defense. But for you to beat South Carolina, you have to make some shots and you have to just do enough on the rebounding edge to beat South Carolina. You cannot turn the ball over against that type of team right there. I think they will be Final Four bound.
Your thoughts, Connell, South Carolina?
South Carolina, I agree with me, Final Four. You know, the NIL has made a substantial, positive way for a lot of teams in both the women's and men's basketball. I already got my Final Four. It's going to be UConn, South Carolina, Iowa, and LSU. That's going to be my Final Four. I think I'm so excited to see women's basketball, especially this year, because it was phenomenal last year, and I just think that it's going to be great. But South Carolina, Again, they're well coached. Of course, we all know about the coaching history, and I think they're going to be there in the Final Four. UConn definitely with Becker's back. So obviously you got Iowa with Caitlin Clark. I mean, and LSU is definitely going to rebound. They still got most of this stuff. They're going to be fine. That's going to be my Final Four. Easy.
All right, and then on the men's side last night, we did have an upset last night on the men's side of the floor. Was it who was it?
Michigan State lost.
Michigan State and James Madison.
Yes.
Who's y'all favorites out the men to come out the men's this year?
You want to go, Coach?
Well, I won't give a prediction because it's early. I gotta wait for the men's. It's kind of I gotta wait till we get to tournament play, the conference tournament play, just to witness that. But for sure, I can tell you who's going to be right there in the thick of things. You're definitely going to have Houston going deep in the tournament. They're going to be at least going to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. You have Duke. Who's number 2. Anytime Duke gets in, they're going to cause a lot of havoc. Arizona, I'm not sold on Arizona. I'm going to tell you that right now. Every time I put faith in Arizona, they always lose early. Purdue, not trusting them at all. They lost early last year in the second round, which is I predict they would lose early, and they always lose early, no matter what they go up against. It's always going to be a team that's going to expect not to make it, and they make it. Like a team like a San Diego State, like a team like a Florida Atlantic, who played in the Final Four last year. So it's going to be really hard to tell, but you're going to see Duke. You're going to see Kentucky, as long as they got John Calabarri. The Wagner guy, that Wagner guy is really good, man. That Wagner point guard, that guy's really good as well. You're going to have Arkansas, who's going to be pretty good, who's going to go deep into the League 8 with Eric Musselman as the head coach over there. Of course, you got Kansas, who's out of the Big 12. Of course, you got them.
Damn, Coach, keep messing my stuff up, man.
You're going to have Texas up out of the Big 12, who's really tough as well, my Longhorns. But other than that, I can tell you who's going to be in the thick of things, but who's going to win it all and be in the Final Four, that remains to be seen. I will only judge that when it gets to conference tournament time.
Fine.
Well, since Coach, again, he always does this to me. But anyway, I'm going UConn. They have a lot of returning players back. We've got to watch out for them.
Yep.
And one team that we haven't spoken about, they are on a mission. They came so close last year. They have the reigning MVP of the Big East. Watch out for Marquette. I'm letting y'all know. Watch out for Marquette. As far as Kansas, they got Dickerson, whatever his name is, who is transferring over due to the INL from a Michigan 6'10" center playing with Kansas.
Yeah,
I think they provide a lot of support and rim protection for Kansas. And the other one, like I said, I got UConn, I got Marquette, I got Kansas, and I think I'm going to go. I like Duke because, I like Duke. I'm going to go with Duke. Those are my 4. But watch out for Marquette. Watch out.
Oh, another team I think is going to be in the thick of things in the men. I think Miami is going to be pretty good. I think Miami is going to be really good as well. I think they're going to be a really good team that can go deep in the tournament.
Bill Self signed a lifetime contract with Kansas.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not telling you something. I'm trying to tell y'all something.
Also, another name that we forgot to talk about yesterday in the girls, Juju Watkins, USC.
Yep. She's pretty good. And gonna be pretty good too. Going to the League 8. I think Indiana make it in the League 8 with the girls. They got one of the top guards in the nation, Chloe McNeil. They also got McKenzie as well, who's a top big in the country as well. So Indiana is going to be a threat in the Big Ten. It's going to be them and Iowa, I believe, will be battling out for the Big Ten, but I think they're going to go deep into
that girl from Iowa. I forget her name.
Caitlin Clark.
Not Caitlin. Was it Iowa? Is it Iowa State I'm talking about then?
Which one?
I forget her name. I was looking at her stats earlier. But I don't know if she's gonna be like a threat, really. Like, she got the size. Hold on, I can tell y'all her name. Just 1 second. Because I sure enough was looking at her.
Hannah Stokey. She's a big.
Hold on. UCLA. I know UCLA got a good one, and Lauren Betts. She had 20 points yesterday. Baylor still got some ballers. Hold on.
UCLA got a guard too that's really good. Kiki Rice. She's really good, I believe.
And you got Dreyonda Edwards from Baylor. She had 20 points yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm looking. Okay, Utah got a girl, 26 points. Alyssa Pilly.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark, 28 points in her debut. Jesus Christ. She was 3 rebounds from a triple-double.
Yeah, she's one of a kind, man. Wow.
Hopefully my Sparks can get number 1 pick and they can get Caitlin Clark.
No.
Come on, Coach.
I want the number 1 pick. I want the number 1 pick. The Wings want the number 1 pick. I'm just saying we don't get that number 1 pick.
Hard. Where's she at?
You remember what team she played for?
Yeah, Iowa. Hold on, I'm getting there because I seen her yesterday. Audie Cooks, Iowa State.
Iowa State. Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, so you done with basketball. Moving on into college football real quick, and then we can go ahead and wrap things up. This whole thing with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, the Big Ten has informed them Michigan could face some disciplinary actions. Con, what do you think that the disciplinary action should be? Should they ban them from the playoffs? They undefeated right now. They got a big game going up against Penn State this weekend. What do you think the disciplinary actions could be coming down on Michigan?
I've been watching all the things take place, and we all know every damn team be doing the same thing, but they're coming after him. I don't think it's right, but it seems like everybody knows that something happened, but it depends on what the investigation is going to bring. I believe that they're going to prolong this until the season's over. He's already been suspended. What, three games already? Mm-hmm. So what they're going to do? Smack him with another 2-game suspension? The key is, to me, do the kids that have been busting their behind all year long? Do you punish them, or do you punish the team that probably could be in there? In place of Michigan. So it comes down to how and when they make this decision. If they prolong it, to me, if they got enough evidence, do the damn thing. If they don't, let them play and go on. If they got enough evidence, do what you got to do. But to prolong it, all that's doing is bringing up more controversy, and it's going to keep going on and keep going on and keep going on. Wrap it up, do it now, or let people know, hey, look, we don't have enough evidence. Then go ahead and continue playing. If you got it, handle your business and take care of business. Whether that be suspending them or whatever, because more than likely it's going to be his last year at Michigan anyway. So to me, it's get the investigation over with. If they're going to prolong it, that's going to benefit Michigan. That's my take.
Coach?
Well, if they are guilty of all charges, then you don't let them play in the playoff. Because again, by them saying that, by them playing, that's also punishing a team, that's gonna that deserves a right to be playing in the college playoffs. And also you're gonna have that team upset and want to bring that conversation up as well. So you want to try to avoid that. If that's all true, you punish them, you punish the team, and you don't let them play in the college football playoff, no matter what. If they're innocent, then play football. Let's play football. But you want to kind of get to the situation. You want to kind of get to the situation to make a decision as much as possible and look right into it before it get deep in the season. And then that's when everything is going to come out. You don't want to wait till the end of the season for everything to come out and then want to punish them. didn't want to punish them and try to take the national title away from them just in case if they win it. You don't want to wait till it get that deep. You want to go and get to this investigation now, and if they're guilty, you punish their ass and you don't let them play in the playoffs, and you put a team in there that's worthy of being in now. Now, if they're innocent, then if they're innocent, let's play football, man. Let's just play football. Simple as that. But you don't want to wait till it get too long to after the season until you name the 4 playoff teams, and then all of a sudden you want to try to make a decision of replacing them and putting another team in. Now you might well just gonna play football at that point.
Shout out to my guy Donte from East Coast Gridiron. Told me something today I didn't know. You all know how the NFL, that they had the offensive coordinator or head coach. They tell the player what the play is. They tell the quarterback what the player, they tell the quarterback what the play is in their helmet.
Right.
College don't have that.
Right.
Didn't know that. So that's why they have the signs and everything. But of course, all teams still signs. He said just make a deal with Motorola and start having the players call, get the green dot so they know who to play, who gets the signal. Just have the coordinator call the play in for the quarterback. So I mean, this will eliminate the sign stealing. This will eliminate everything. I feel like you got to steal signs. Why do you got to steal signs for? Because you want to get the upper hand over a team. So that means you can't beat the team physically without stealing their signs. You gotta go. You gotta be one up. So you can't go back. You can't beat a team flat out. But you gotta, without stealing their signs.
But we gotta realize this ain't high school football where you gotta go over to a coach and try to get a play. This ain't the little football where you got to go over to the coach, check in with the coach to see what play you want to run. These are college kids. Why don't you not do the same thing as the NFL? Put their headphones in, let them get the play where they can just get in the huddle and call it and just call the plays. These are for the guys that's going to be playing on Sunday, for to be playing on at the next level on Sunday. It's not a little league in high school where you just got to go over to the coaches and get a play call and then just go back to the huddle, have to go back to the huddle. These are college professional. These are college kids. Come on now.
But something, y'all, is that the coaches didn't want this. The coaches didn't want it. They voted against it. So maybe with this Michigan fiasco, maybe they may change their mind. Hopefully they will. Because like you said, make things easier and get rid of all this scouting and the coaches have to get together as an NCAA, come together and vote on it, and then it'll happen. If they don't, we're going to continue with this BS.
Yep.
All right, so who wins the big game between Michigan and Penn State this weekend?
Ooh. Penn State needs to, bounce back. I'm going to go with Penn State.
Ooh, okay. Coach, who you got?
The last big game Drew Aller played.
Two-pack of ass.
You're off the hook.
The last big game he played in, and he shit the bed. Until Drew Aller proved something to me that he can be a serviceable quarterback in a big game, I'm going to take Michigan. Until Drew Aller can get his shit together in the big game. You got to play well. For them to win this game, he has to play well. He has to play well for them to win this game against Michigan.
That's going to be a good game. Again, that's one of the best games. Not say best games, but that is a big game on this weekend slate. Of course, all of the games. What is another big game we got? I think that's the only one that stands out to me. Miami, Florida State, no. Utah, Washington, Florida, LSU. Yeah, that's really it. And one more. It looks like Shedeur Sanders is going to stay in. He's not coming out. So 2025, he'll be probably a big name. He wants to stay in one more season with his dad, and then he'll go into the NFL or selected for the draft. So him, Shiloh, I think Travis Hunter, they all will come out at the same time. So that's Shedeur is going to stay in. So you're going to have Drake May, Caleb Williams will be your top tier quarterbacks. Even though some good quarterbacks coming out this year too. But We done hit the 2-hour mark. Con, appreciate you being on as always. Make sure y'all tune in every Friday night at 5 o'clock for the Sports Corner with the Con Man on the Sports Weave Network. Always a pleasure of coming on and chopping it up with us. We'll be back on Tuesdays. My schedule freed up for Tuesdays. So make sure y'all tune in Fridays for Khan's show. Yeah, he talks about basketball, but he's just not a basketball show. He wants to bring some entertainment, his life skills involved. So it's very informative. So make sure y'all tune in every Fridays to the Con Man. Con, again, appreciate you for being on. It's always a blast when you come on. We always gonna get some type of knowledge when you come on here.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. You and Coach, y'all. I love y'all, man. I love doing the show with y'all. So thank you.
All right, appreciate y'all in the comments. Down to Vic, Koo, Mo, Jury. Appreciate y'all, everybody in the chat. Sergeant Earn. As always, y'all are the few that makes us go. Comment, like, and subscribe to everybody's channel. Some merch. If you into some merch, Donte, is that the 7200 seconds hoodie you got on? So if you want that, the link is in the description. For the hoodie, Coach Donte stuff. The winter time's coming up. I know y'all need a hoodie. So stay warm. But we're gonna get out of here, guys. Love, peace, and hair grease. Don't do nothing stupid. But if you do, just make sure you do it safely. We're gonna get on out of here.
Thank y'all.
Peace out.
I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love.